can fly.
Yo guys, what's going on? Johnny here. Hope everyone is staying nice and healthy and hope everyone is having a great time. Today, we're going to be talking about supplements. It's such a huge thing, everywhere in the gym, especially even young people, I see they're bringing in these protein shakes, or I even remember, back in placement, people asking about BCAs and bringing in their protein powders or branched chain amino acids and asking coaches and things, should I be taking this? It's such a huge market at the moment, supplements, just to name a few, such as Huel, True Protein, Science and Sport, Musashi, all of those huge companies that sell so many of these different types of supplements. It can be so easy and tempting to want to just grab these sort of things because I can get all of my daily vitamins and minerals just through having all of these supplements. I could take a multivitamin plus a protein powder plus some carbohydrate gels or sports drink, and I've got protein, carbs, and my vitamin minerals and all of that. Job done, easy. But the biggest thing is, and if anything you take away from this video, is that always focus on your food first, because that's how we were even raised. When you started off as a baby as well, we started off with food. Supplements are just like an icing on a cake. Without that strong foundation, the base, the cake itself, that icing has nowhere to stick to. Why are you putting icing on just empty air? Like, you need that strong foundation. And that strong foundation is your diet itself. So, are you even just having your 5 core food groups? Are you having enough veggies, fruit, carbohydrates, meats and proteins and healthy fats and all of those sort of things before you then start to focus on supplements and those sort of things? So, we do have like a very professional definition as well. So we define supplements as a food component, nutrient, or non-food compound that is purposefully ingested in addition to the habitually consumed diet with the aim of achieving a specific health and or performance benefit. It is a huge definition. That is a not very simple definition. It's got a lot of words in there. So let's break it down. It's essentially saying that, any food component, nutrient, or non-food compound, when you're consuming it on top of your normal diet, you're doing so because you're trying to get an added performance benefit. That includes things such as like sports drinks, multivitamins, protein powders, and different types of performance supplements, things such as like caffeine, creatine, bicarbonate, and those sort of things. Those things that we are purposefully adding on top of our normal diet to then get like a performance benefit. So even things that like multivitamins, when you're trying to correct one of your nutrient deficiencies, for example, that is in a sense actually considered a supplement. You may not realize it, or you may not also realize that, for example, things as simple as your Gatorade drink, your sports drink, that is a supplement as well, because that's on top of your normal diet. You're going into, for example, a football match. You're purposefully consuming a bit of these sports drinks in order to get you that performance benefit, and it's on top of your diet. The most important thing as well is just to realize that supplements are only going to give you that 1 to 2% performance benefit over your competitors. It's not the big foundation you should be basing your whole performance on. Whether, for example, you shouldn't be saying to yourself, like, if I'm not taking creatine or caffeine and those sort of things, I'm not going to be performing well. That's not the case. It's going to help you perform a touch better and a bit better over your competitors and give you that slight advantage. That's why it's used so much in like the elite levels of sport and those sort of things. But if you're just looking at playing amateur league, that sort of thing, social league, I wouldn't even worry so much about taking supplements. You'll probably be getting most of your nutrition and everything from just a normal healthy diet. So one really, really helpful website I found is the Australian Institute of Sports Supplement Framework, which I have here on the screen. It's such a great website to just tell you everything about supplements that have a very strong evidence base behind it, which we call Group A, to those sort of supplements that have very little evidence to support that they would actually help you, which we suggest they are Group D. Have a look through some of these. If we're going through some of these, like for example, in Group A supplements, so these are things that have got very strong evidence behind it, that backed up by research, it is quite safe to use. These are sort of things such as like sports drinks, sports gels, sports bars, all of these sort of things. They've got some great evidence behind it to suggest that they will help you to perform better. But you do then also need to be careful of, for example, contamination with maybe some new other products or chemicals that actually may be banned or banned by this organization called WADA, WADA. That's an important thing as well, is that supplements, the thing is, if you can avoid using supplements, you're going to be a lot safer than having a bit of supplements. There are going to be a bit of a risk taken when you start to take supplements because, for example, if you look at Paul Pogba recently, he's now got an anti-doping violation, and that's a huge thing for athletes that they don't want to have because it can ruin your reputation and your career. So when you can, if you are taking supplements, go and see a dietitian and we can take like a safety assessment. We go through a flow chart. There are flow charts that we have to help you choose a supplement that is going to be very safe. Or even, you may not even need to take a supplement, but instead improve your diet to help you perform a bit better, for example. So, for example, if we're going on to look at some examples here, caffeine, it's well written. There's some great research behind it, which says that, for endurance sports activities or even football, for example, that's more than an hour. Consuming caffeine that's got like about 200 milligrams of it, so that's like a cup of iced coffee, can help you improve your performance. By what caffeine does is suppressing those receptors in your brain that makes it tired, and so it makes you more alert. So essentially, caffeine makes you more alert. That's its performance benefit. Creatine, a brilliant thing to use if you're especially like a power athlete or like a fullback, a winger, or striker in football, where you're doing a lot of sprint explosive movements. What creatine does is really helps to quickly replenish the body these energy molecules so that you can keep sprinting more and more, and you're going to be a lot more explosive and powerful. Things such as like power lifters, strength athletes that do a lot of just quick bursted weights, that sort of thing. That's where creatine works well in. But the thing is to also realize that creatine is a nutrient that's found in red meats as well. So, if you're consuming a diet that's already very high in protein and you're getting great protein throughout the day and stuff, perhaps you may not need to consider using creatine as well. Which is why, all of these supplements that I'm talking about, performance supplements, or whether it's something like a multivitamin that you're using to correct a nutritional deficiency, help you with your recovery, sports drinks, sports gels, carbohydrate gels, those sort of things. If you have a really good diet first, you may not need to go into all of these and spend that extra money onto it. Always focus on a food first, then your supplements. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you again in the next one.